Yep, it says it's being live streamed.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right. All right. So amazing live streamed. All right. And so we're on.
All right, we're on.
Anyone else that wants to join can jump in, but hopefully they'll do it by Zoom because there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to get a phone. Things are a little screwy tech wise in BARFF podcast land. We are separated tonight because of COVID issues. COVID issues, Walt, have really plagued the show for the last month. Like, let's be honest.
Yes, unfortunately, stuff being on the commissioner's COVID list, but I'm hoping to get off in the next day or two. But I'm happy to report, we're doing fine over at BTR HQ. Just
Nice.
a little minor setback, but we're doing quite well.
Excellent. Let me see what I got. Speaker view, gallery there. That'll probably look better for everybody because I think before it was just going to be one voice. So we were at the end of the season. We're well past the end. Again, issues have plagued us, but we made it to the end. And sir, you have risen to the top of one of the most hard fought seasons in BARFF history on yet another dramatic Monday night finale. Tell me about your game, the final game of the BARFF season this year.
Well, I got to tell you, one, it feels really good to get one for us elder statesmen of the league, because we haven't had one of us old guys winning in a long time. So I feel we kind of restored balance to the BARFF universe by doing this. And I got to say, when we last met and did the podcast, I knew I was a big underdog, but I did feel like, some of those years you just feel like you're a team of destiny and just things are going right for you. And that's so I just had a lot of confidence. I don't know why. It was not really deserved confidence, but I just felt good. And maybe because I felt like I had nothing to lose coming in as a big underdog and having gone through Kyle. So,
something really happened with your audio.
Oh, it did?
Something.
Oh.
Something had happened. I think it said mute. Yeah, that was weird. Mute pot just popped.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. So I can.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, you won one for the old guys.
Yeah, I won one for the old guys. So what I was saying is that it was weird going in being a big underdog going into the game. Expectations were low, but again, I just felt things were breaking my way this year, and it was just, I don't know, for some reason it gave me confidence. So, and again, I felt like, what do I got to lose, right? I got by Kyle. That was kind of a nice victory in itself, just getting by him. Yes. So I did realize I had a big problem at running back. So I'm really giving a lot of background here, but I'm going to really give background because I just want to soak this all in and tell the story. So I knew I had a problem I had trouble at running back. And so I'm like, okay, let me scour. And for whatever this year, I've had a knack of just picking the right guy. So I saw that beautiful Rashad Penny out on the waiver wire. And I'm like, it's an awesome matchup. I said, you know what? Let's do it. And so I picked him up knowing I was going to start him because of the other matchups that the Ramondre Stevenson was going to come back, split time with Harris. Hubbard, I was like, I hate that matchup. So I pick up Penny and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll deal with the rest. So I did that. And then I said, I'm starting them. I picked between Edmonds over Harris and I'm like, let's go. So, crazy, right? So in the beginning, Connor started really slow, real slow. Mm-hmm. Stafford was struggling. Taylor was not doing much. Kupp wasn't even doing much. And then Montgomery was the only one that was he was doing pretty decent. So by the end of the second quarter, though, that's when Taylor had scored. Kupp, it's like it all seemed like it was collapsing. at one time. So I was like, okay, well, here we go. But then I happened to see your text about Antonio Brown deciding to quit football in the middle of a game. And I'm like, whoa,
In the
whoa,
middle of a
whoa.
game.
Right. In the middle of a game. I'm like, and again, I'm like, wow, maybe things are aligning for me. And then
In a game, I might add, a game where Tampa Bay was determined to feed him, not to his liking, but it sure seemed like he was a focal point of that offense that day.
Exactly. So they ended up having good games, but Connor was pretty much done. And the only one he had left was Zeke going. And I had a lot of 4:00. Well, 4:00 rolls, and Debo wasn't doing much, but then all the stuff started happening. It's all of a sudden the stars started aligning. Penny starts going off, and I'm like, okay, this is amazing. I see Debo at the end of the game gets a late touchdown, breaks a tackle, goes in the end zone. So takes a disappointing day, turns into a good one. Penny is like going off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really going to maybe happen. So, like you said, it all culminated till, it comes down to Monday night. One time again in our BARFF games, we've had so many come down to Monday night. And, Deontay, I was feeling pretty confident. Like, this is the guy I want. If I had to pick one guy on my team that for consistency wise that I had faith in was Deontay. And sure enough, when he got that touchdown and got that out early, there was a big sigh of relief. And it just, as it turns out,
it was surprised the windows didn't blow out of
I was so happy. So happy. But yeah, it was, and it really, what killed Connor was Zeke Elliott just absolutely did nothing. I mean, projected 14 and then only getting 3 out of that. That was huge. Huge disappointment for him. Yeah.
That was talk about a season of ups and downs for most teams, but Huey Lewis and the News didn't really have a lot of those downs, and they did in the championship game.
And then you could combine it with Brown. Those two together.
Brown a spectacular flame out. It's crazy.
Yeah. And the once again, Midas touch of picking Rashad Penny, who projected 12 and blew it out of the water.
Oh my God. So we could talk about pickups of the year, but if you're getting 33 points off of a Saturday pickup, Sunday morning pickup in the championship game to lead you to victory, that Elijah Penny Rashad Penny is the pickup of the year. There's no doubt. No
doubt about it. Like I said, we're going to maybe put him in the BTR Ring of Honor next year.
He has earned it. And you have earned the greatest prize in all of sports, the Golden Toilet. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's so amazing. But, shout out to Connor, very gracious defending champion. First guy to text me saying, great game. And so, amazing champion. He was, like I said, very gracious in his defeat. And, no, I'm thrilled. This is like the best feeling to finally, after all these years, all these good teams, and to have this one be the one to take it all. So I think that the story is, we said running backs, that philosophy. I think I might have set it back a bit. I basically.
It's true. It's true. You're picking guys up off the street the morning of the game, and you're winning a championship.
Exactly.
It's funny. I picked a lot of guys up off the street the morning of the game. It didn't do the same thing at all. It was completely different.
Yeah, no, it's the crazy. Like I said, it's some years I think it just lines up for you, and this was one of those years.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is your second BARFF championship. You have the longest number of seasons between them, I believe from 2010 to 2021, an 11-year swing. So congratulations on that. Also, that just shows that you're still in it after all these years, and certainly one of the most competitive teams in the league. And I thought I was wondering if we were going to talk about a little bit of history tonight.
Yeah. Oh, there's a one fact I'd like to talk about history. You know
Sure.
who else has only two championships?
2 championships.
Kyle Mikulski, who I am
Kyle
now
does have
tied
2.
with. So
He does.
it's hard for him to talk any smack about that now. That we are now both tied with the same amount of championships.
Yes, the number of times with the golden toilet seat does seem to be a thing in comparing teams in this league.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. No question about it.
So, we were gonna do a bunch of different things in this show. And it's hard when so much time has passed, and we kind of sprung this one on people a little late. But for you, now you're coming off the title. That's a great feeling. The euphoria has settled a little, although it shouldn't settle that much. I'd be celebrating for like a month straight. Performance of the year. Who gets your, of all the owners, and you can use yourself, and you want to put this Rashad Penny up, and all that. That's a definite brick in the wall for coach of the year. But who do you feel had the performance of the year?
I think there was a couple owners. I think I mean you have to give Connor a lot of credit, honestly. I mean, solid right from the draft all the way through. I mean, unfortunately, the one clunker he had all year just happened to be in the final game. So I think Connor did a nice job. As much as it pains me to say it, I think Kyle also did a very nice job. And until the end, when Tony didn't make that change with Tua, I got to say he did a really nice job. So I got those three are my top three. But if I'm forced to pick, I can't forgive Tony for Tua. I'm going to say Connor. I'm going to say consistency wins it for me. And I'll say he was the owner of the year, in my point of view.
Yeah, I agree. Connor really had an amazing season. The 115 was his season low, tied only in week 1 this season.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can't argue with the fact that if 115 is your low in a season where a lot of us suffered those 70, 80 point games, that's certainly he gets my vote for owner of the year. He had a great run, and he just ran out of gas at exactly the wrong time with Antonio Brown waving that towel and waving to the crowd as he went off. Bye, Connor's championship hopes. He waved.
Exactly.
That's terrible. And I'm looking at we'll talk about the pain that Connor's had, but what a season. He puts up scores like 165, 166 in consecutive weeks. He goes as high as 175, taking out Christian in what was a pretty pivotal week 11 matchup for Christian. And he suffers that loss because he runs into a juggernaut. So good for Connor. There's always next year, and let the count of the golden toilet seats begin. I love it.
I think that's what I'm going to update the history and the records to see where everybody is. As I guess their winning percentage over all these years. But I agree with you. I mean, what is success really marked by? It's by the number of titles you have.
Titles only. Titles. Yes.
That's how I feel. Exactly the same way.
Yes. The knuckleheads may be a mockery, much like the New York Giants currently are. You have 2. I'll say don't count us out yet.
Well, maybe it's a revival for the commish next year.
That's gonna try. The opposite of every instinct that I have is what I'm gonna do next year.
That's right, George Costanza. Do opposite.
That's right. Exactly right.
But yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate that we went this amount of time. We were going to do some awards. I think though at draft time, we can kind of rekindle and maybe kind of lock in on some of these things that, we'll have maybe a formal award show at the end of next season, assuming we're out of this craziness. Sure. Yeah.
So, I hate this nonsense.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, who do you feel when it was all said and done, what player did you think was the best overall fantasy player or MVP fantasy wise?
The MVP player this year. Ooh, that's rough. I would have to I would look for one of the Huey Lewis quarterbacks. Those guys were consistently excellent, but now neither of them really led that team. He kept swapping them.
Yep. He had Cup.
Wow.
Cup. He had two people, Cup and Taylor.
Yeah.
Definitely were there.
Cup is definitely the overall MVP of fantasy. People that drafted Cooper Cup probably won a lot of titles. And so I would say overall. In our league, I've got to tell you, I think Connor's team had enough without Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
But Kyle, and he faded late, which led to Kyle fading late. But Kyle rode Najee Harris pretty hard all year and was really rewarded by, he's a rookie. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. So if there's an MVP, I think a guy that put a team over, I think that Najee Harris brought Sody Pantloads over and led them to that 9-5 and strong playoff performance before the exit.
Yeah, I definitely. I was thinking the same thing, and I'll throw one of my own guys. I think Deebo Samuel, who I feel really all the up and downs, a guy who has consistently gotten hurt, that actually played except for only one game.
Right.
He was pretty instrumental as far as I think as an MVP for at least my team for sure.
Right. Yeah, so, and then there's Deontay Johnson and Rashad Penny. That duo born to run history forever.
Well, yeah, Rashad gets the MVP for the Super Bowl game for sure. But it says Deontay's 2 years in a row for being on a championship team, if I'm not mistaken. I think Connor. I
lost your audio again. Hold on. What is happening here?
Still got me?
Hey, you cut right out.
How about now? Not back here. How bizarre. Anything? Unmute. Am I back after unmute?
Oh, there you are. There you are. It's a completely intermittent. That's what a surprise. It's a go to the machine. We're doing something different. Holy shit.
Yeah, what I was saying was I think maybe Deontay Johnson is the guy you pick up because I think this is 2 back-to-back titles for Deontay Johnson. I think.
I did not think about that. Right?
Right.
And now, was that accurate? Connor had made a comment that indicated that he was trying to get Deontay Johnson from you this season. How often was that going on?
At least 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
So I think there might be something to that too.
Right, Deontay Johnson, maybe the guy. I'll draft him in the first round next year.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I'm not drafting Travis Kelce in the first round next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's a lot. Or Christian McCaffrey.
Oh no. We talked about that. I can't do it. I don't have the stomach for it.
No, not again. This was too much on me this year to try to juggle that again. No way. You need a guy who's going to be there for you, and he's just not that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that there's a gambler out there that's going to say, "Oh yeah, he's going to," and it'll probably plug and play and do terrific. He'll be the top player in the league next year, but not for me. I can't unless it's third round. I can't. So we head into this off season, and what a year! Like every year, issues with the show aside, in the last month, like every year or every week, it seems like we came down to Monday and in some cases Tuesday as COVID started to rage, night games, and it was like my team was out of it after week 3. But I was still like, I was watching these games with going back and forth with the phone, doing what, and there was so much excitement this year. It was a great year.
Yeah, I mean, my team alone, I must have at least 4 Monday night games I can think of where I had to stay up and watch it. Every one of these games, a lot of these games just always came down to the wire. But I think we finally have a lot of parity in this league now. It's just any team could beat any other team on any given day. All the owners are so competitive and into it now. It makes the league So that's why it's so good, is really, that's the reason, is that level of interest and people working the waiver wire and all of that.
I agree. And I'll tell you that I see teams on the horizon. Christian had a really strong season this year. And then I saw an interesting thing looking at that on the phone app history. Hung Like a Horse, who wasn't with us for the first couple of seasons, has 10 playoff appearances over their course in BARFF, and that's pretty hard.
That's impressive.
Tommy made the comment on the red carpet this year that we're due. He certainly seems due, and he had down the stretch to get in the playoffs and lock up his spot. He had a really great performance. So that's a team I'm not looking forward to seeing next year.
Yeah, I think you're right. Him and Christian, I think, are both knocking on the door that this is going to be them, I think, fairly soon. Tyler's a different story. We're not sure if he's ever, but we'll see. I think one of those three are going to probably, at some point, they're gonna, I guess, get that title that they've been wanting. It's bound to happen. They're gonna break through.
Yeah, I agree, and I'll be happy for them as long as they're beating me in the championship game.
Hey,
I won't be so happy about that either.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have the distinction of oldest owner or manager or coach, unless something happens right now.
You are. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like Jack Nicklaus of golf. I got one more major in me.
So you know what we could do? We could do that awards show for this year we could do a little draft selection before the draft next year. Do a draft selection show and give out some awards. That pick selection, that could be a good idea.
And anyone watching after the fact, give us some ideas what you want to see. I'd like to have something like that for our show.
Yeah, I agree. And I like this live thing. I don't know what's going to turn out. I've never done it like we're doing it tonight, and I hadn't done anything live the last couple. So there was one spectacular flame out and 1 week where it came out great. But like for me, the show has to come out by Thursday night or it starts to get irrelevant. Like when it's coming out on Sunday afternoon and people are watching football. So
and pickups have been made and trades have already been discussed. So I agree with you. So I think next year, that's it. We commit to trying to do it live all the time and see if we can pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, so when there's editing, like, I don't know if people understand that, like sometimes there's between the editing and creating the video and then getting it to go up to YouTube, you can be talking 30 hours.
Yeah.
And that's the live, it just jumps on. I can do work before the show and you don't get as many cutesy things, but we can still have the standings. We can still do the graphics, etc. So I think that's definitely going to be the way to go. And then when we're done, when we say good luck to all and it was a great show, it's up and I have to do a
exactly.
I like it. So
yeah. And again, I know a couple of weeks after this, we don't have anyone joining us, but we had a great year. So everyone watching, participating, and joining us, it's been excellent. And next year, we'll just even do more and make it even better.
Yes, absolutely. It's great when we have owner participation. We had some really good shows this year. It was a really fun year.
For sure.
All right. Well, again, congrats to you on your title, and we are already looking forward to next year. We'll get some owner feedback on some things that we can do, and let's head into 2022. Hopefully we will have people in here every time. We'll be live. We won't have to postpone shows because someone tested positive, and et cetera. And let's have a normal run. That's my hope for next year, is that next year is the no COVID interruption season 2022.
That would be outstanding. So I agree. The more people we can get in and the more we can all interact and talk football and fantasy, the better the better this show will be. So yeah, I look forward to that.
Yep. Hold on. What's happening here?
What, you lose me again?
Yep. I lost you again. It's unreal. I don't understand. It just jumps in and out. There you are.
It's probably an internet connection.
It could be, although I've got a router at the bottom of the stairs now to avoid just this problem. So much. That was a great idea. That's clearly not working. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the only danger with live streaming is that, you get any kind of little blip. It'll probably
running through the software seemed to be really seamless. This Zoom connection seems to be a little bit tenuous. So I'm going to learn that software a little bit better, and we'll do well. But again, congrats. What a great season. Everyone did a great job. In the last week of the regular season, everyone that didn't have a team named Knuckleheads was fighting for a playoff spot or was securely in a playoff spot. That's a sign of a great league and a great season. Walt, you've been a great co-host this year, building off of what we started the year before. I'm really looking forward to 2022.
Yeah, me too. It's been great hosting with you, co-hosting, and I've enjoyed every minute of doing these. So I hope everyone else has enjoyed it as well. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, guys, look for that draft guide picture. Be shooting that out to you in late spring, and let's start to get motivated. Good off season. I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of the winter. Do something fun. Have a great spring, and we'll catch you in the summertime. Good luck to all.
Yeah, and be ready for the trophy presentation to me, because
I feel an epic trophy presentation coming on.
Yes, there's going to be something good for that.
Yeah, here it is in the news. You only have about 100 days to use that, so just to spray it with Lysol before you get it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it. We're gonna have some fun with that trophy.
I love it. All right, well, have a good night. Good show.
Okay, man.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you.